Hey, yo, welcome back to Put 30 on the Clock. I'm Coach Phil, and as usual, let's get right to it. Now, today's episode is dedicated to the high school hooper, but there's something here for everybody. Now, high school hoopers, the date of this recording is August 26, 2024. This is about the month of August. Most of you are already back in school. You're already back into the swing of things. You're doing assignments. You already know you're back into the flow of being in school, right? And around this time, towards the end of the month of August, coach should have already sent out notifications. Hey, if anybody's interested in joining the basketball team, we're going to have the basketball team meeting on this day. Now, is the meeting that important? Not really, because coach is just going to tell you, hey, this is what we're doing. These are the dates, blah, 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 letting you know what's about to happen, right? The important thing about the meeting is that you have an opportunity to scope the entire landscape. You get to see the worst player in the gym, the best player in the gym, everybody in between. The people who were on the team last year, which might be you. The people who didn't make the team last year, might be you. The people who transferred in, the people who talk a lot, the people who are real humble. You get a real chance to see everybody, and you get to really identify where you stand, and you get a real clear idea of how much work you need to do, right? So if you see yourself as somebody who is fringe, you might not really make the team, and it's like, how many people are in front of me? You can put faces to names now, right? If you're a top dog and you was on the team last year, you averaged 10 and coach said, hey, I'm gonna put the ball in your hands this year. Well, now when you look at the gym, you can see all of the people who are really gunning for you, right? If you top dog, there's a real good chance the majority of the gym can't really see you, but you know that there's teammates coming with you from last year's team, the transfers, the people who were on JV last year. You can point out who's coming for your spot. So there's something for everyone when we have this meeting from coach. Again, what coach has to say is important. You know what I'm saying? You need to know dates and times and what they expect from you and da-da-da. But the most important thing is you get to scope your competition, because until y'all wear the same uniforms, y'all are not a team. You guys are competing for the right to get a uniform. So right now, you're not a team. And when you put all that work in over the summer, it wasn't so that way you could like share minutes and give away what you hope to attain. You didn't really have sharing on your mind. That might end up happening, depending on the role you're given. That's another discussion for another day. But in this meeting in August, we cool. We're friends. You my mans, you know what I'm saying? But we're competing for uniforms, we're competing for minutes, and we're competing for certain roles. We are competing, and until we put on the same uniform, hey, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So that's first. You need to take advantage of that meeting. The next thing is, do the coaches know you, right? If you played on the team last year, if you are on JV moving up to varsity, well, do the coaches really know you like that? How much was they watching your games, right? If you was on varsity last year and you coming back next year, how in touch were you with coach over the summer, right? Is coach saying that you're gonna have a bigger role than you had last year? Like, yeah, coach knows you because you was on the team, right? But does coach know what you're aiming for? Is coach aware of what you're trying to do? So yeah, coach knows you, but is coach aware of what you got going on, right? If you're a transfer, if you transferred in, have you introduced yourself? If you're a freshman, right, have you introduced yourself? Because all of this is new. Campus is new, you know what I'm saying? Everybody is, the gym is new, everything is new to you. Have you introduced yourself not just to the head coaches, but also to the assistants? Do these people know who you are? Because I'll tell you what, you think favoritism doesn't exist, but it does. And if there was a choice between you and somebody else, let's say last spot on the team, they're gonna go with the person that they know and the person that they like. If there was a decision to make, okay, are we gonna give this to this person, that person? The deciding factor might be, does coach have a relationship with you? That's a real thing. You can call it what you want, but that's real. So if you know that it's real, it's in your best interest to take advantage of it. Now, I'm not saying to be fake and phony and try to brown nose your way into getting things. All I'm saying is introduce yourself to the coaches. Make sure that they know your name. Make sure that they're aware of your existence, because with all of these people in the gym, being the month of August, it's very easy to get lost, right? It's very easy to get lost. So make sure that the coaches are aware of you. If they've never met you, introduce yourself, say hi, just be cool. You ain't gotta, don't be fake. Like coaches hate fake, don't be fake. But say what's up. If you crack a joke, if that's in your personality, do that. But just make sure that they know your name. If they know you from last year, let them in a little bit on what you would like to do, because they'll be like, hey man, you ain't got a shot in hell at doing that. Well, at least they told you, and then y'all can work it out. It's like, and maybe you'll get coach to be like, okay, if you prove to me during the months of September and October that you can do blah, 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 I'll consider letting you have it. Now you gave yourself some time to win coach over if coach said, nah, you don't have a shot in hell at this, right? Or maybe coach is like, yo, I really like what you've been doing over the summer, and I really believe in what you were doing over the summer. We're going to need that. Now you and coach are locked in from day one. So being known to the head coach and the assistants, my goodness, and the assistants, they're very important, this is a great opportunity to meet everybody and to make yourself known to them, right? Now, when they start explaining what's about to happen, the months of September and October are really going to be spent on conditioning, open gyms. There's going to be some plays and whatnot. There shouldn't be, but come on now. There's going to be a little bit of plays being taught and whatnot. Some weightlifting. This is literally a 2-month interview, right? This is not really the time for you to be like trying new things. This is really the time for you to be flexing your muscle. This is really the time for you to be showing what you're truly capable of, because you can't wait for tryouts in November to try to impress them. You need to give them something throughout these 2 months that they can be like, yo, I can trust him. I can trust her when it matters, when they're trying to do these things, right? And this is your 2-month trial period. And every week it gets a little more serious, right? Because officially they can't cut you until November. You can't officially be cut until like the first tryout day, or at least the first tryout day. But you don't want to try new things on like, say, October 12th, right? And you got 2 weeks left before tryouts. You start trying new things, you're not going to really have their faith. So the wildest you can be when you're showing them new stuff, right? When you're showing them the whole repertoire, right? That's that first week of open gym. That should be around the first week of September. That's when you start. If you're going to wild out, that's the time you wild out. Show them everything, right? And then as the weeks go on and on, you got to really lock in on the things that you really want to do, because the patience and the tolerance decreases as the time goes on. So you don't want to show them new stuff the week before tryouts. I promise you, you will be on the short list of people to get cut, because they're going to think this clown doesn't take us seriously enough to play his or her best when it matters. It's getting close to the time where we have to start getting rid of people so we can lock in on our teams, and they're trying to show us brand new things. That's how coaches think. It's like, you don't value us enough to like give us your best. You're like experimenting with us when it's time to get serious. So if you're going to go crazy in that first week of September, that first week of open gym, and do it all there, okay? And as the time goes on, you get more serious, right? You lock in. Now, does that mean you're not improving? Yes, you improve away from practice. You do your individual training away from the team. Nobody should really be seeing what you're up to and what you're doing. Do your training away from them. But as far as what you're showing them, you wild out in the beginning. It's like a pyramid. You wild out in the beginning, and as you get taller, it gets a lot more narrow. You get way more serious, right? Because this is a 2-month interview. They're not just checking out your ability to play. They're checking out your seriousness towards the weight room. They're checking out your dedication towards the conditioning. When they're teaching you plays that they shouldn't be teaching you, when they're teaching you plays, how much of this do you remember? How many times do you have to repeat it? Can you pick things up pretty quickly, right? How much improvements are you making based on the stuff they're giving you? So not your own individual training, but the stuff that they're trying to show you. How quickly are you picking that stuff up and it becoming natural and a part of your game now, right? It's one thing to do what somebody says. It's another thing for you to like be so good at it that it's like a part of you now. Just like writing your name on a piece of paper. That's my favorite analogy. You don't spell your name out. Your hand kind of just goes because you've done it so many times. How quickly can you take on what they give you and it become natural, right? Those are the kind of improvements that are going to make you stand out. Now, if you're already on the team, you have a role or whatever, don't get cocky. This is not the time to relax because there is somebody putting in that work trying to take what you have, all right? So you demonstrate, you lead, you unfortunately step on their throats in the process. You kind of kill their hopes of trying to take what belongs to you, right? But in that same boat, as you're like crushing people's necks, in that same crushing neck process, whatever, just stay with me. In you killing their dreams of taking what belongs to you, they also see somebody that they can follow, all right? They see somebody who takes this seriously. They see someone who's worth listening to. So when situations get hot and a moment gets serious, they're like, okay, I can hear what this person's saying because I've seen them put in the work. They weren't just on the sideline, you know, goofing off or whatever, and then flexing their muscle because they were so much stronger than everybody else. They weren't doing that. They were actually putting the time in. They were actually getting stronger. They're actually lifting and running and getting better. They were actually in front of us leading. They weren't just better than us at basketball. They were leading us through effort. They were leading us through spirit. They cared. Okay, so this 2-month period has it's an incredible opportunity for everyone to make major improvements, for everyone to get stronger, faster, more athletic, for everybody to become better, smarter basketball players, whether you make the team or not, and really to show who you are as a person, because coaches need good people. It's one thing to have good basketball players, but if you don't have good chemistry, or if you have a lot of bad attitudes, if you have a lot of selfishness, if you have people who don't gel, whatever the case, if you don't have high quality people, you're not going to do a lot of winning. You need a lot of like overpowering talent in order to have like, I guess, a successful season, but you're going to fall short to a team that is not as talented, but is way more together, way more orderly, way more structured, way more bought into the roles that they have and understanding that their contribution to this team is vital. You're going to lose to the team that has a 6-man that's like wild on defense and plays crazy defense because they know it's only a 32-minute game. So it's like, coach only needs me to go crazy for 10 minutes. I can do that. You're going to lose to the team that has that guy if you're just super talent, and you just try to overpower. Coaches need good people. So this is your great opportunity over the course of 2 months to not only show what you can do on the court, but show who you are as a person. And I promise you, 99% of the time, especially for those of you who end up on the bench, especially for you, a coach would much rather take someone, like if you got 2 players, all right, and one player is clearly better than the other, right? Like it's clear. But this guy is serviceable. This girl is serviceable. If this person's usable and their character is just way better than this one, they're going to take this one. Because even though this person's a better ball player, this person might be a cancer to the team. This person might be the reason why people get into fights and arguments and always, you know, complaining at practice and, you know, having a miserable time. If the talent's not too far off, I mean, this person's clearly better, right? But if you can hang and you can contribute and your character's way better than this one, it's not so much that this person's better than you that they're going to get looked at. You're going to come here because you're much better for the team. You're much better for the team, and coach is looking for wins. Talent is awesome. Ability, skill is incredible. But on a high school level, you don't have to be the most talented team to win. You just don't. Now, If we're talking about national teams and whatnot, all right, talking about something else, all right? But even amongst them, even amongst those who play at the, I think it's the Geico National Championship for high school, even amongst them, they have to have good chemistry. They have to be on the same page. They have to understand their roles and contribute their roles. Otherwise, they're going to lose to those other teams who do that, who might not have the biggest names, but they have people who are willing to do things the right way. So it's only August, but this is your opportunity to scope out the entire landscape. Who's the best player? Who's the worst player? Where do I fit in? Who are the new faces? Who are the returning players? Who are the coaches? Are the coaches aware of me? All right? That's August. We can get into September and October, but right now it's August, and you need this information. Now that you have it, what you going to do with it? This is Coach Phil. I appreciate you spending this time with me. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. Like, subscribe, hit me up in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. But for now, I will hear from y'all next time.